Good morning, good day, and happy Sabbath to everybody. My name is now Setsiba, and today we will be discussing how to beat COVID-19 using our acronym New Start. So let's begin our program or our discussion with a silent prayer. Let's all close our eyes. Amen. So, New Start is an acronym, and every letter of the New Start stands for something. So, the N stands for nutrition, E for exercise, W for water, S for sunshine, T for temperance, A for air, R for rest, and T for trust in God. And so we'll be talking about all of these and seeing how we can use that to beat COVID-19. But I'll be making a little bit more emphasis on the use of water in the fight against COVID-19. So first up, nutrition. It's very important that we all have a healthy, balanced diet because what we eat influences how our body functions. So veggies and herbs all have an important function because they boost our immune system. But it is very important to take note of the fact that garlic and onion and other herbs that have been used for COVID-19 do not kill the virus. They have antimicrobial properties which kill bacteria, but not the virus. So say you have co-infection of COVID-19 and other bacterial infections in your respiratory system, then garlic will do wonders for you. However, it does not kill the virus. COVID-19 has had a lot of devastating effects on our lives, on all facets of our lives: religion, economics, social life, academics, work, everything. And we all know someone who has died from COVID-19, or we are related to somebody who has died to COVID-19. And all of this generates a lot of depression and anxiety, also panic inside of our, hearts. And so exercise is very important because when we exercise, we release endorphins, which help us feel better, which make us feel like we're on top of the world, and we can do more. So a little exercise every day can help, It doesn't have to be 10 kilometers a day. Start off little, but it will have a great effect in your body. Water. This is very important. So, water is used in the prevention and in the treatment of COVID-19. And when we're talking about prevention, number one, keeping our hands clean. So, washing our hands with soap and water, thoroughly washing our hands for 20 seconds, rubbing it with soap and water under the running tap is very important because we remove all the germs and all the viruses that may be on our hands, because they say that this virus is airborne and it's also in air droplets. So we touch surfaces that have COVID-19, we touch people, and we touch everything that can have COVID-19. So it's very important that our hands remain free from COVID-19 because we touch surfaces and then we touch our hands. So every time we've been coughing, every time we've been touching door handles or any type of handles or any surfaces, if we've been treating people who are sick with COVID-19 or any other disease actually, if we're about to handle foods or we're about to handle children and so forth, we should make sure that we wash our hands. Our respiratory system is lined up by epithelium, and these are tiny cells that line up and form a barrier for our bodies against the outside world, so the air that we breathe. And they protect us because they trap all the germs and the viruses that try to get in our bodies. And this epithelium consists of hair-like structures, which are called cilia. They act like tiny millions of brooms that sweep out the germs that try to go inside of us. And it also has a mucous membrane, which is made of 98% of water, 0.7% of mucins and other proteins. And these trap bacteria and pathogens, viruses, germs, whatever it may be. They trap it, and as the cilia, like the brooms that we have, brush it, it also moves with the mucus and goes out. So when it goes out of our systems, it's either we swallow it or we cough it up. So altogether, the whole barrier is called a mucociliary escalator because, like you would imagine an escalator, you get on it and it takes you up. And so it does the same thing with germs. When germs try to enter our bodies, the brushes, the cilia, brush it up. The mucus slides the pathogens away as the brooms are sliding it up. But for this system to function well, it's very important that we are well hydrated. Because this mucus is made of 98% of water, if we don't drink enough water, then it's going to be very thick and making it difficult for these brushes to sweep the pathogens out. It's going to be very difficult for the pathogens to be trapped in this mucus. And so we'll end up having the germs stuck inside of us but not being swept out. So it's very important that we drink water and stay hydrated so that the structural integrity and of the mucous membrane is intact, and that we have a constant flow of mucins which act like, fake attachments for germs. So they don't attach to our bodies but attach to these fake little knobs that also sweep out the germs. If we want to keep our respiratory tracts protected from bacteria and viruses, then we should make sure that we're well hydrated and that this mucus lining is always replenished with water. So how do we do this? Make sure that the rooms that we're in or the spaces we live in have enough humidity. So you can get a humidifier or you can steam up the room just so that there is enough water vapor or water in the air and that you don't dry out your mucus lining. Another thing that's important is to drink enough water, like I'd mentioned. So 2 liters of water per day, but also make sure that you discuss this with your doctor, especially if you have any heart conditions, because you don't want to overload your body with too much water. So every time you make a decision to either increase or decrease the amount of water you want to drink, discuss it with your doctor first. Sunshine. So this is also very important because we get vitamin D from absorbing the sunshine or the rays of the sun. And vitamin D is very important in our immune system. So like we explained before with the respiratory system and the barrier and so forth, vitamin D helps to make sure that that protective barrier works well. And also, it is very important as an immunoregulator because it ups the defense systems, making sure that they're working well. So it's very important that we're out in the sun, not for too long though, but that we at least get 10 minutes of sunlight each day. I wish this was one of the last slides actually because it ties up everything. So of all the important factors that we've mentioned, it's important to realize that all of them have to be practiced practiced in temperance, so in moderation. So not too much of sunlight, not too much of food, can't have a whole lot of sleep or a whole lot of water everywhere. Everything has to be done in moderation. So, fresh air is very important because you need to be in a space with less particles of COVID-19 or any other viruses and bacteria that is out there that affects our respiratory systems. So, while you're out getting fresh air, you will also be getting sunshine, getting off vitamin D, and also you could exercise while you're outside so you can kill three birds with one stone. This is my personal favorite, sleeping, resting. But remember, everything must be done in moderation. But either way, sleep is very important because it is a immune system regulator. So they've been doing sleep-wake cycle studies on human beings, and they've discovered that people who don't have enough sleep, who don't get enough hours of sleep or proper quality of sleep, are more prone to get respiratory tract infections and get diseases from those infections. So they say that less sleep you have, the more prone to COVID-19 you are, or more severe forms of COVID-19. And they also say if you don't get enough sleep, your recovery time from disease, infections, and so forth will be prolonged. So instead of, for example, a simple cold lasting 7 days, you could have a cold for 14 days because your body is not well rested, and so your immune system is not functioning at its optimum capacity. And also, they did studies on hepatitis A vaccination, and they said that the participants of the study or of the experiment who had enough sleep showed a better immune response to the vaccine than those who were not getting enough hours of sleep. So I don't know if this has any correlation with the COVID-19 vaccination, but either way, it shows that if you have enough sleep, your immune system is better. Anxiety and panic can present itself in the form of shortness of breath. So you'll feel like you can't breathe or you're not getting enough air, and you would think that it is because you have severe form of COVID-19, whereas it is just the anxiety or the panic. Sometimes you could have the shortness of breath or difficulty breathing because of COVID-19, but because of anxiety and panic, this symptom can be exacerbated, and so you will get even worse. So it's very important for us to make sure that we have low levels of anxiety. I know it is not easy, but if we trust in God, if we put our faith in God, we can help decrease our anxiety levels. And in the guidelines for the management of patients with COVID-19, they say that it is important for patients suffering from COVID-19 to talk to their families and their loved ones. And so as Adventists or as Christians, I think it's important that if we know somebody who is suffering from COVID-19, that we call that person, check up on that person, send messages of hope and encouragement to that person so that people are not in despair, people are not panicking, and people are not terrified, but that they know that God is there and is able to heal. Finally, I leave you with the words of 1 Peter 5, verse 7, that we can trust in God. We can put all our burdens on Him, all our anxieties on Him, because He cares for us. And we should never forget that Jesus Christ is the great physician. He can heal any disease that is burdening our bodies. So have hope, have faith. Jesus Christ is there, and He is going to take us through this whole thing. We can close our eyes. No, shall we close our eyes? I'd like everybody, whether they are seated or whether they are watching this video, to just have a moment of prayer for everybody who is currently suffering from COVID-19 and everybody who has lost someone or is going through the phase of taking care of someone who has COVID-19. So let's close our eyes and have a few seconds of prayer. Amen. I hope you all have a wonderful Sabbath and that this video was informative and that you share what you've learned with others out there so that nobody's misinformed. God bless you all.